Let's move on to The Boy and the Heron, the latest film from Hayao Miyazaki, a film that was shrouded in mystery for a while with no trailers and no previews and no images and no posters. It's just got a release date. That's all you get to know.
Not even plushies to sell at the Miyazaki store.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to pay $80 for it, right? Those very expensive tip pop up, but talking about the movie itself, it is the latest retirement film from Miyazaki, except it's probably not a retirement film. I don't know if we need to talk too much about whether or not this is going to be his final film, but Art, you did get a chance to see it. I'm still waiting for it at New York. What did you think about the latest from the Japanese animation master?
We'll get deeper once you get to catch it. Alina, toss me one of those Miyazaki toys.
Hey,
let me see which one's the best one over here. Whichever's the softest one. Right there. Miyazaki is a person who creates these beautiful worlds, these imaginative worlds. And I think that a big part of what people have really enjoyed about him is what I will call the Calvin and Hobbes bit, where they didn't do this. They didn't merchandise it to a degree for me to fall over here and just buy all of the stuff. Alina got these because she's a big Ponyo fan.
Oh, cute.
And I mean, how can you not get this one? This one was really cool. And as much as I love it, I'm here to tell you, like, they Pixar'd it. You know, they're pushing it to a point where this man makes fables, right? Like, he makes parables. And a big push for this final movie is this idea that, like, he stayed pure, and this is his finale and his goodbye, and he's coming to terms with that. Then it turns out he's not retiring, so I don't know how much that switches a lot of people's reviews that made it like all built up on that. I think it's a very good movie, and the more that I've thought about it, the more that I liked it. We woke up super early to see this film, and the animation, it doesn't matter if you're dead tired, will blow you away. It's so smooth. There are some shadow sequences where characters are engulfed in fire at the beginning. The way that some of the running sequences are shot, visceral, dude. The sound design is beautiful. The colors are fantastic. Everything that you want technically from a Miyazaki movie is there. And I know that was a big concern because now he's kind of allowed other animators to come in. And it's not all him like he used to be. Great choice there. Story-wise, this is a mixture. It's right in the middle for me between what we were discussing as his more like grounded movies, which would be The Wind Rises, to the more whimsical movies that he's done early on in his career. And it's somewhere in the middle. I prefer the whimsicalness of it, because I do think that there's still a lot of groundedness in there. This kind of teeters between the two of them, and honestly, it made the more whimsical parts a little bit more jarring for me, because whenever it was very serious, I was like, all right, let's just stick with that. I truly believe that the original name for this movie, I don't know if you know it, is superior to The Boy and the Heron. I believe it's How You Live. I'll try to pull it up over here. Once I found that out after the movie, it puts you into the state of mind of what you need to be in for this film. About this kid who doesn't want to remain at home with his stepmother and ends up entering this magical world. The Boy and the Heron, sure, because it's him dealing with this whimsical heron, but I really do think it's a movie about how you traverse through life and the attitude that you have going into it, and how you don't need to be in this otherworldly world to be able to affect the people closest to you. You can do that as a child already. I think I'm looking forward to revisiting this movie, especially with a lot of the interviews that I've heard and breakdowns that I've listened to between Miyazaki and his own son. I think all of that is very fascinating. As of now, my review for it, which I had at first and then I stuck with another one. This is How to Train Your Heron to a certain degree. I think people are really going to love this movie. People who are not fans of Miyazaki's previous works, I don't think this is going to be the one to change you. It would have been a really cool send-off, but I prefer the man continue to make movies. Very curious to see your breakdowns once you catch it in New York. But to me, I'm sticking with 4 stars at the moment still.
Cool. I mean, I'm very curious about it, as I would be just about any thing from Miyazaki. You were telling me that it's one of his grossest movies as well. I don't know if that's maybe too spoilery to get to the specifics of it, but I just thought that was an interesting reaction to a Miyazaki film.
It's a little gross.
In terms of it as a potential contender for Best Animated Film, I feel like he's at the point in his career where maybe there's just like an interest in acknowledging his greatness, right? Like including him almost by default. But do you feel like this is maybe a movie that could even be a contender to win? Is it that good, or is it like too weird to be considered?
I prefer no. I don't think he could do anything that's weird. I mean, this man created he literally like a Spirited Away is like a little girl following a ghost, even, and no one like questions it. I think he's cleared in that sense because of where he comes from. I think you could take it away from some of the contenders that we have this year. I prefer Into the Spider-Verse movie.
Right.
I prefer. I don't even know what else we have off the top.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Nah, absolutely not. Boy and the Heron, I could see it taking it away because
Elemental.
he has that essence to him where it doesn't feel like you're watching the next big animated movie. It feels like you're, like I said, you're listening to a parable. It's like a prophet trying to tell you a tale that will be timeless years from now. That doesn't, again, it isn't associated with merch. It's associated with a theme, a story that's supposed to stick with you, that the older you get, when you come to rewatch it, you then start connecting not just with the boy, but with the other older characters who are involved. So because of that timelessness, it's easily going to get in as a nomination. I can easily see it getting the win as well, even if I prefer some of the other animated movies that are out there. For me, I see Chase asking about where it falls. It is not in my top ones. Again, I hold Spirited Away and a lot
movies,
of his older ones just a little bit higher. This is a little bit more serious. You are dealing with a more depressed child. So that's kind of the tone that it carries as he learns from it. I have it above middle for sure.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm definitely curious to catch up with the Boy and the Heron. We'll talk about that one more once I do.